Let's start with opening in prayer. We have Jane Chico here to open us. Everyone can stand, please.
If you bow your heads with me. Gracious God, we thank you for watching over our community. We pray that you would continue to keep everyone safe with the weather. We pray that you would give wisdom to our community leaders, that you would continue to prosper our town, and that you would help us build a community that cares for the most vulnerable. We ask all of this humbly in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Smith, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Mills, will you do roll call, please?
Vice Mayor Dale,
Present.
Alderman Elder,
I'm here.
Alderman Langford,
Here.
Alderman Linder,
Here.
Alderman Proctor,
Here.
Alderman Rubel,
Here.
all present.
Okay, next, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Alderman Dale made the motion. Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Alderman Langford. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next we have public comments. Are there any present for public comments? Okay, seeing none, let's go on to the next. And I do have a few things for additions today, and I'm going to move the order just a little bit so we can get Joel on the road. So I'm going to, if all will be in favor, I'm going to make the report from the CMFO, Joel Parks 1, then we'll move Main Street Historic District and Chamber of Commerce to 2. 3 will be the ordinance 2026-2-1 for the resolution 2026-2-1. 5, review of the letter from the comptroller regarding the enterprise fleet. 6, we have a report from the city attorney, Andre Greffen. Oh shoot, I've done one out of order, but we'll still do that, right? And then I have two things that I need to add at the end. We have Chief Smith wants to talk about a new hire from the police department. And then number 8, he wants to discuss some issues on Railroad Street. Do I have a motion to accept the changes to the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Linder,
Second.
second by Alderman Dale, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, first, Joel, you want to come back up and give us just a little brief summary to sum up what we talked about in the work session?
I'm very happy to appear before you today. I think it's been a few years since we've had a mid-year budget analysis. I've looked over the accounts very much in depth. There are going to be several adjustments throughout the year. We've got several accounts that are over budget, several that are under. This city began in a strong position last year with a lot of fund balance. I fully expect the city to be in a very strong position at the end of this year as well. A lot of revenue yet to come in. It's going to be expenses naturally. I think we're all about where we expect to be. There's going to be more grant money coming in because of new expenditures that were not budgeted, so we'll be amending that budget, amending both for the expenses and both for the grant revenue that's not yet on the books also. I think we're in a pretty strong position. Any questions?
Any additional questions for Joel, our CMFO, about our budget? Okay, all right. That being said, thank you, Joel. Have a safe trip home. Next on the agenda, we do have Main Street Historic District and Chamber of Commerce on here. I think Zach Stevens has some things from the Chamber of Commerce, and then I do have an amendment that goes back related to the Main Street Historic District that I will read after Zach finishes.
Paper attachment. Good to see you all this evening. Have two quick updates and then have another item before you all. First, in what Arno's passing down is a letter just reminding you of the upcoming session we have with TVA Economic Development Team on Thursday, February 12th. Hope each of you will be able to join us that evening. Their folks work across the Tennessee Valley, and what they're going to be bringing us that evening is best practices whenever it comes to economic development work and what's working in other communities. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. And then also, I shared with you all last month that the Chamber had received a grant in the amount of $100,000 for tourism rebranding. I had asked that if you have any constituents that work in tourism or hospitality, that you share this information with them. Unfortunately, due to the inclement weather we had to reschedule that, and we have some new dates, and so that is what that update was about. Any questions on either of those? Is this, Lori, is this MOU stuff, is it in their packet?
I don't think we put the MOU in there. I think you were just going to kind of put it before them.
So before you is a 2 pages that is a proposal and then a sample MOU. What this document outlines is a partnership between the Chamber, Main Street Program, the city and the county. As you are aware, the city receives funds from hotel and motel occupancy taxes, and those by state statute are to be used for tourism development. What I am proposing is that, and this has been reviewed by Tennessee Department of Tourism Development, is to create a tourism advisory board that would help manage those funds, and we create a dedicated fund to market our community. In this proposal, you'll see that there's representation from the city, the county, Chamber, Main Street, Standing Stone, State Park, and kind of other stakeholders who would guide this. In addition, there's an advisory council that also exists that has representatives from Department of Tourism Development, Upper Cumberland Development District, and other professionals in that space that can also provide guidance. The city, I believe, has about $15,000 that they receive annually. So this would come to the chamber. We would be the fiscal agent of those funds. We would have an independent auditor / accountant who would review those. We would have a bookkeeper for that. So there's lots of transparency and kind of accountability to make sure those funds are being used properly. I have presented this to the county Economic Development Committee this evening, gave a favorable recommendation along with the Budget Committee, and I'll be taking this to the full commission on Monday, and I believe that they are likely to approve. I'm not asking for any action from you tonight. I just wanted to throw this out there, let you all kind of stew on it, and I would like to come back next month and ask for a resolution, and this is the same thing that I'm asking from the county, is that the mayor is able to negotiate along with the city attorney an MOU, and there's a sample one provided that the Department of Tourism has reviewed. But she would be able to negotiate an agreement to move this forward. What kind of questions do y'all have? And I know it's a dense document, so.
I see the person that you wanted to hire as the tourism director would also serve as the Main Street executive director.
Yes, sir. So ECD has advised our Main Street program. So Gene presented a few months ago that Main Street would be setting up as a 501c3, and you all approved that. So ECD has given guidance that we must hire a part-time executive director. So what this proposal is that there would be a part-time executive director for the Main Street program and for tourism. We thought that would be a good combination, and the state Main Street program's all for it, along with the Department of Tourist Development.
Who's financing it?
The funds that are generated through the hotel motel occupancy tax would fund that position, along with there would be enough funds to market our community. There's also, so in the last year, I have been able to pursue and secure around $130,000 in grant funds, actually probably more than that, through the Department of Tourism Development. So we would have quite a bit of funds to market over to county and Livingston.
Will this executive director have the right to veto of what the committee votes?
So they do not sit on the body, they answer to the advisory board. So the advisory board would make decisions, and then they would carry out that.
I'll talk to you in the office.
Yeah, sounds good.
And basically too, the state, they want to know that our tourism dollars are going to tourism.
Correct.
And so all the hotel motel tax that we get has to be designated for that. So that's what he's asking for here, but we'll review this and then revisit next month.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you all so much. And I think Gene is up next.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick that Main Street does support this proposal. I don't think it's a good idea, and hopefully y'all go along with it. The other thing, real quick, I'll report on is the caboose. We had the property surveyed down there. We thought that would be a good idea to get the property surveyed, so we made sure we placed it in the right place. That's been done. Should get those results in the next couple of days. So that's moving forward. I'll try to get that scheduled pretty quickly and get that thing moved up here. So I'll let you know when that happens. That's all.
Okay, and going along with our Main Street Historic District, we're kind of revisiting an old grant. So there's an amendment that you have before you. It's amendment number 04 to the agreement between Kimley Horn and Associates in the city of Livingston. So if you guys recall, which some may not, because this has been going on since April the 29th of 2019, we got a grant for sidewalk improvements, which are the sidewalks that are beside the Savage Law Office and go in front of the library. Actually, those on that side, some of those have been refurbished, but it goes down to the chamber and then it comes back up the other side, and then Good Pasture. I think Good Pasture is that, right? That runs through there. Anyway, just to kind of recap that we have had funding to redo those sidewalks since 2019. So there have been a lot of updates. There have been some things that I, have not been here during that time, but when I got here, we were working on right-of-way updates. So when you're going past somebody's property, there's just a lot of paperwork involved and approvals and things that, I can't even speak about. But anyway, so we're ready to move forward. Kimley Horn came in, and this is an amendment for them to do some updated work to get to be ready to start bidding out this job and getting this job done, okay? So it talks about the things that they're gonna do in the tasks. It talks about, the bid advertisement and then the schedule. And with that extra work, they are asking for a fee, an increase of $10,000 for the fee to do the updated work for that, to get this done.
Pretty much we gotta do it.
Well, pretty much to get the
Yeah.
project done. And that, TDOT did give some extra money to that when they realized, and there have been a few changes in it, and we walked it with Kimley Horn. Ray Evans was here with me. We walked it, and actually there were a couple of spots that we, maybe we'll save some money on because there were some sidewalk ramps that were already put in when there was some other items that were done. So maybe this can come off of there when they come back and give us the final plan. So we do have money budgeted in our budget for this project currently, so in the Main Street budget.
You need a motion
I need a
for the
motion.
10,000?
Budget.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Linder. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Alderman Proctor. All in favor? Okay, motion passes. Ray, I didn't change our order, so let's go ahead and come up for the e-citation for ordinance 2026-2-1 for establishing an electronic e-citation fee.
So technology has always been one of those things that we've looked forward to and have built in the process of new ideas and debate, be able to do our enforcement, do our job, make the job a little easier, a little intrusive, a little less intrusive as we make a stop. E-citation allows us to scan their driver's license now. We automatically can punch a button and put in whatever offense that we are charging them with, and it will produce a citation very quick. Once that does it, we're able to get them to sign it. And what it is, it allows us also to charge $5 on the extra on the citation to help the part of the electronics of it. The program that come in, and we can only do that for 2 years. 2 years, it allows us to charge that extra $200 or $5 to help us establish the program to do the e-citation. Nowadays, we got it, everybody's got them, I've got them. Big old booklet, you gotta go back to the car, write it all out. This time, people's got time, and it is a little quicker on the situation. And all we have to take back up there is them to sign one, or even not have to sign one. It's this technology that's come along, a lot of other departments are using it. It automatically loaded in our court system, where our court clerk can go ahead and make up the information and be ready for the court date. It streamlines and brings all that extra work, closes a lot of that out. And it downloads once we get back to our department and done that. That's only for certain citations that it can be used for. Yes.
So after the 2 years, the $5 goes away.
Yes, sir.
Who puts that after?
Well, after that, the establishment of it is the program's already paid for. You just continue using that same program. If they change the program, I'm sure they're gonna come back with another way to help the cities recoup the money for a new program if it updates or something. And this is a program we already have. We just not put it into effect yet. And the e-citation goes through our accident reporter and all that. And the cars are already equipped.
So the $5 is going to be added to the violators?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Geez, I get to pay $5 for getting the ticket.
Yes, sir.
Need a motion?
I make a motion, we accept this.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Elder to accept the e-citation ordinance.
I'll second.
Okay, second by Alderman Linder. All in favor? Okay, all opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is a resolution 2026-2-1. It's a resolution to apply for the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation for outdoor recreation planning grant funds. So the Development District informed us of a grant, and I think, I've applied for some of these in the past. Apparently, to get some funding for some of our parks and the things that we want to put in the city, they always say, if you have a master plan and they know you've thought through it and the community has gotten involved and given their comments about what they want for the city, for the parks, that it is always helpful when you already have a process in place when it comes to asking for funding for those parks. So this is a grant that it's a $60,000 grant. We would receive $48,000, but we would be paying $12,000 for the work for them to put this master plan together. So tonight on this resolution, it is only for us to apply for the grant. It's not spending the money yet, but just getting approval to apply for it. Anybody have any questions?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Alderman Rubel to apply for the grant.
Second.
And a second by Alderman Langford. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Motion passes. Okay, I'm running out of papers. Okay, next on the agenda is our, before you had the letter from the comptroller's office, just giving us approval. Our lease with Enterprise was up. We have had it for 5 years. It was time for us to re-up on the lease. We've worked with them now for several months, just looking at what our needs are with our public safety vehicles. We've looked at the best way to try to be as conservative with our dollars as we can. When we started into this, we had 21 vehicles that were in the lease program. We were able to see that some of them were getting ready to fall out of the time. 3 of them were available for us to purchase for $400 a piece. So we actually went ahead and got those vehicles, and we're looking at one that has low mileage on it that we hope to get in the next few months when its time comes up, because all of them are on a different time frame when it comes to leases. So because we were re-upping it, and we did improve on a few vehicles to make sure that we got what we needed to pull, all the equipment that we had, and have 4-wheel drives, which we know we needed greatly during especially this time to be able to take care of the city. So this was sent to the comptroller's office. The comptroller's office did approve for us to re-enter into the lease with Enterprise. So we did discuss this during the work session, but if there are any other questions regarding the lease.
I'll make a motion to accept
Okay.
what the comptroller recommended.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion on the table by Alderman Linder to accept the re-entering into the lease with Enterprise. And before, we haven't signed all the paperwork, so we got the approval first, and I am going to have our city attorney review the contract before the final signature of that. So I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a second by Alderman Dale. Let's take a roll call on this one, Ms. Phyllis.
Alderman Elder,
Yes.
Alderman Langford,
Yes.
Alderman Linder,
Yes.
Alderman Proctor,
Yes.
Alderman Rubel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dale,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, number 6 on our list is a report from our city attorney on the revenue.
Good evening. The mayor asked me to provide the council with a brief update on what the city is doing to address some of the sign ordinance violations in town. so that the public can get a better idea of where that issue stands, and I'm happy to provide that update. The city is in active litigation in 3 cases currently. 2 are in state court and 1 is in federal court. The first case involves the tractor trailer at the intersection of North Church Street and Bradford Hicks Drive. This issue has been ongoing with the owner of that property for several years. The city has taken the owner to municipal court multiple times. The city's sent letters to the owner addressing the violations, asking him to bring the property into compliance. He simply refused to do so. So the city had no choice but to file a lawsuit in Chancery Court in July or August of last year, requesting an order from the court requiring the property owner to bring that property into compliance and refrain from any future violations of the municipal code. The owner filed a countersuit against the city, and the city has replied to that, and that suit remains pending. Now, while all this was going on with the owner of the North Church Street property, a billboard company out of Cookville applied for permits to build 10 digital signs, 112 square feet in area, to run digital ads on a loop that changes every 8 seconds. That's a clear violation of our sign ordinance, so the city denied those permits. The billboard company appealed that denial to the BZA. The BZA upheld that denial, and the billboard owner then filed suit in Chancery Court to challenge the BZA's decision. The city filed a motion to dismiss that lawsuit, and that remains pending, and the billboard company has responded to that motion to dismiss as of today. Now, before our response to the Chancery Court lawsuit was due, the billboard company then filed another lawsuit in federal court challenging the constitutionality of the sign ordinance. The city has filed a motion to dismiss that lawsuit, and the billboard company's deadline to respond to that motion to dismiss is February the 12th. Now, for some history and context, same billboard company and the same parties here, one of which was the owner of the North Church Street property. The billboard company tried the same thing in 2018. They filed multiple sign permit applications for illegal signs that were denied. He appealed those to the BZA, which upheld that decision. He then filed suit in Chancery Court. The Chancery Court dismissed that lawsuit. He appealed to the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals affirmed that dismissal. He filed a lawsuit in federal court alleging essentially the same causes of action. The federal judge dismissed that lawsuit, and we expect a similar result here. So while I can't comment publicly on the specifics of these pending cases, I will say that these lawsuits are a result of the parties involved just not wanting to comply with the law, and that the only way the city could have avoided these lawsuits is to just ignore its own law, which is just not an option. The public shouldn't expect an immediate resolution to these cases. The judicial system takes time, but we will continue to defend these lawsuits. We'll take all necessary steps to resolve them in due course, and we will continue to uphold the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Okay, number 7, we have Chief Ray Smith back to the podium. He wanted to discuss a new hire potential for the police department.
So for a while, we've had a opening in our department and just not having applies. It's very strict now to get the approval from post, to get votes. And when you do have somebody come along that will qualify and will make it through, sometimes it takes other things. Today, we have a person that I would like to hire that is 20 years of age. In our policy, it says 21. I would like to ask the board to waive the 21 and allow me to hire this young person to come and be a part of our law enforcement agency, to work here in the city and help us protect our citizens here in Livingston City. The person has worked for us before in another avenue, has done a great job, shows up to work with a positive attitude. I think this attitude and her work ways applies to the City of Livingston Police Department. I think this person will be an asset to our department and help us move further in law enforcement in the City of Livingston. The policy is our policy and not the law. It's a policy that we've set forth and we voted on. So I'm asking the board to waive the 21 years of age and allow me to hire this person at the age of 20. 7 months, the person will be 21 years of age. Our training takes longer than that. It's almost a year now to get through training, get to school, get it all done. By the time that all comes around, this person will be 21 years of age and be able to move on. I always think I started really young. A lot of folks started young years ago and made such a career and gave to the citizens in Livingston for many, many years, and I believe this person will do that same way.
But this is a city rule, not a necessarily state, federal. Or
Right, it's ours. We wrote the policy, the board passed the policy. We have had this come up before, and years ago it was waived to hire someone that was off the age of 21 and just 20.
This is for a patrol officer?
This is for a patrol position.
Yeah.
Yep.
Andre, if we go ahead and make this hire, will they be covered under insurance like any other city employee?
Sure.
Well, my opinion, today's workforce is just so crazy out there that you just can't get labor, so law enforcement or anything anymore. So, I make the motion to do what Chief Smith had requested.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Linder to hire this employee at age 20 and almost a half.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, second by Alderman Proctor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next item on the agenda is Ray wanted to talk to us about a traffic issue at Railroad Street.
I have two roads that has been brought to my attention, and one of them we worked on way on back there, but we never made any progress on it. The first one has been brought to my attention by a motorist. It's on Railroad Street that comes out on Mountain Road. We're pretty familiar with that road. It's very narrow. There's one small trailer that's closer to the intersection where it comes in at. I don't think it would affect anyone in a major way. It's a very narrow road. We've had an accident or two there. It's blind to come out there. I think it would be safer to come from Mountain Drive or Mountain Road onto Railroad Street there. That way you can just make a turn. There's no pulling up there, trying to get past that brush mark up there, move on. I would like if the board would give me an opportunity to do a little study on it, make sure we're looking at it as much as possible, give me a little more time to go around to the community and look at the situation and be able to bring back next month a understanding of all the questions that the neighborhood is asked and the motorist is asked at this time on Railroad Street to get everybody's, thinking about the situation. Everybody have an opportunity. Maybe they will call or comment to the board or to the mayor about the situation on the road. It's a one lane. It's not made to be passing. We have done it. You can go over and see where the marks are in the ditch. It is very narrow. If we know that we can prevent one, why not? It's pulling out there.
What you really want to do is make like a dead end street or something?
No, what we did
Or one
over on
street?
Lee Dillon, you know how we got that on Lee Dillon done? It's just come one way. Just keep coming one way instead of trying to go back up the other direction, make it just one way. It would be safer and less avenue if we just come from the mountainside onto Railroad Street. Yep, and go down that way and not have them trying to come back out there and try to
It's
get
a very narrow street.
It is very narrow, and it's just a spot we really need to take a look at and possibly bring on to the attention of the board and have it made as just a one-way road. But right now, it's just one little intersection. Going the other direction is not going to I don't believe it puts a burden on anybody else. It's only coming on Railroad Street, going right back out, to the road there, so I just don't see it being that big of an inconvenience. I don't. We may hear from some folks that may have a big inconvenience, so we give that opportunity time by the next board meeting to look at that situation. My second one is Melvin Johnson. Melvin Johnson has often been looked at as a roadway. It is in front of our school system and our high school. We use it a lot of times for graduations, basketball games. It is a street, and I think years ago we didn't really plan or think about the growth of the school, drivers, and the usage of the school, and then the safety. Our biggest goal in our schools today is safety, making sure they have a way to secure their area, make sure that they have control. If you have control when people come and go, you know what's on your property. We have looked into, and we are in a process with the school system, and would like to gate it off. And it's gated right there where the walking track starts on Melvin Johnson, just below the White House on the hill. They can go and come as they would. We wouldn't put a burden on them. But when school's in session, that school, that is their street, their area, their way. They could use it whatever they need to see fit. Talk with the fire department, spoke with Rocky about the situation, as long as they keep it clear enough to get a truck through, an ambulance through. But they're looking in for a security reason. People's coming on campus. We've had some troubles this year about campus now, and they've looked at it, we've looked at it, we're working together on it in our SROs that are at our high school, has really looked at this situation and deemed it as an avenue that we really need to take notice. So at the time the school is, we would like to work it out with the city and the school board, and for that to be their road during school sessions. And when the school's not in session, it becomes a regular roadway.
You're talking about coming off of 52 and turning on in the Melvin
Yes.
Johnson on 52,
Yes.
right below the electric department.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir. Because when you come into the other way, you come past somebody that's watching the entrance.
Right.
So if you come the other direction, you don't know. They are trying to put a camera up and going to put a camera up there to help the security of the school. But if you can't have that way slowed down or stopped, then you just ain't got no control of it. People are just coming and going, and it is causing havoc. Our young people do get out and walk. And if we can control that traffic there, we can protect them from coming out in health and wellness and walking up and down the street there. They do like to get outside and do that. I would too as a student. So I think it'd be a great benefit if the city and the school council can get together with an agreement and say this road can be used at this time for the school system. And while the school system's in, or school's in, they can use it what needs to be fit, what they need to do with. Because we was getting complaints about people parking. Well, we've grown. We've grown a lot, and some of that is used for parking on the side. But with the fire department, fire marshal, and ourselves, I think we can come up with an agreement to keep certain areas that are opened up, but yet it gives security to the school system itself. Because right now, if you ask one of them to go, they just got to go out to the sidewalk. They don't give you any security. We would like for them to leave campus, period. All in a way, and out of the way. So those are the two items, the two streets that we're looking at. I will get in touch with Ms. Dillon and their board and get with them to come up with a solution that I'll agree with the mayor and the board, come up with an agreement. By the next board meeting, we'll have a suggestion and maybe an agreement that we can come upon. Thank you, Mayor.
Any questions? I don't think we need a motion for that. We just need to go do an investigation and bring it back, so.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have any other business? I think I skipped old business, but do we have any other business? Okay.
Adjourned.
Do we have, Bruce, you took that away from Alderman Dale. We have a motion. Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn by Alderman Elder and a second by Alderman Dale. Meeting adjourned.
You busy man today, man.